So, Heather, what does level up mean to you?
Ooh,
It's a big one.
level up. It's my life.
Is it?
It is now. Well, I think I texted you the other day. I was like, I'm level up through and through.
Literally.
What does level up mean to me? Well, I probably owe a lot to level up. Like, without it, well, I wouldn't be sat here for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's changed everything. Like, it's changed my job, changed my career, changed how I look at myself, how I push myself, how I live. Just, yeah, everything.
You.
Me, yeah, I am level up.
So, let's go back then. It's changed everything.
Yes.
I obviously know a hell of a lot about you. Well, I think I do. Might find out some more
Maybe.
stuff. Who knows? Who knows? But for most people listening, they probably just know you as Heather from Level Up. So, who was Heather from Level Up before Heather was from Level Up?
Ooh, where shall I start?
Wherever you want. Let's go way back.
Way back when. So, probably like, well, when I was like a kid, I always was very active. I liked PE. PE was probably my favourite like subject at school, and always really enjoyed all of that. And like in the summer holidays, I'd go off and do like adventure like camps and stuff. Like I'd get shipped off to Haven Banks for a couple of weeks. You know, I loved it.
Shipped off?
Yeah, down the road.
Emma and Jez were like, see you later.
Yeah. So I've always been like very active in that respect and enjoyed sport. I was never like amazing at anything. I just enjoyed it. So I used to do like a bit of dance. I did netball, and it was just I did it for enjoyment and to do something, I guess. And then carried on with all of that until I went to sixth form, and then I did join a ladies' league of netball because my school didn't have a netball team at the time, so I did that on the side. But that was probably the extent of it at that point, and I was doing PE A level, but that's more like theory based rather than anything else. And then headed off to uni, and all sport kind of like ground to a halt at that point. So the main thing I did at uni was go out with my friends. I did study a little bit on the side, but like being active was not a priority at that point. It was going out and being hungover. Like that was the routine every single week, day, however many times a day, week, whatever.
Christ, it's all coming out now.
I did join the swimming society though, but it wasn't like to swim. I did go to the swimming sessions a couple times a week. My housemates were part of the committee and the coaches, so they kind of like dragged me along, and I was like, yeah, I'll do a few lengths. And it was tough, but I was just like, I'll go and see what I can do. But I was mainly there for like the social element of
I was going to
things.
say, because you just went, I joined the swim society, but not to swim.
Yeah.
So you joined for the society, is that right?
Yeah, I guess so. Like it was, I had no interest before I went to uni of actually joining the swimming society. I just happened to meet my friend Charlie literally on the first day of uni. She came up to me and she was like, "Can we be friends?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And that was that. So she was going to go to the swimming society. It was a Wednesday night. If you know, you know. Like that was the night to be going out.
I don't know. So
well,
what is it?
Wednesday nights at most unis, it definitely was where I went. It was the social night. So every Wednesday, all the societies meet up. You get dressed up in a fancy dress. There's a different theme every week, and then you go and get absolutely slaughtered. And you have a good time. That's it, basically.
Perfect.
Yeah, lovely.
Great role model for all our clients.
Yeah, to the point where I actually, I think it was my second year, I became the social sec. So I ran those nights for a year. It was actually my job to get everyone drunk every Wednesday.
Okay.
So good times, yeah. Great role model.
It's fine. You've grown up since then.
I have. I've changed since then. And so yeah, that was why I joined swimming essentially. And yeah, by like my third year, I was not going to the pool. I was just surviving. But I was studying sports as well, so like I had an interest in it, and I think a slight turning point for me where I had like gone through the cycles. Like, oh, I was drinking a lot, and then obviously comes the hangover, and then you just eat shit. You just don't move because you're in bed, and I came back home from my first year of summer, and Mum was like, should we join Slimming World together?
Emma, it was you.
And I was like, yeah, maybe. By this point, I probably gained, like, they call it the Fresher 15, and it's the £15 you gain in your first year at uni, and I had done that and some. And I did feel uncomfortable. So me and Mum joined Slimming World, and I lost about 2 stone in 3 months, which is a lot of weight in a very short period of time. And that was just by, doing that. And then I went back to uni, felt great, but went and rinsed and repeat the same process. Went out all the time, didn't move, and then was almost back at square one the next summer. Guess what? Joined Slimming World, lost the weight, did it again. And it just kind of went like that each year. And then
Go just on that point about Slimming World, because there will be people listening to this that are either doing it or have done it or are considering doing Slimming World. Talk to people about why they actually lose weight on Slimming World and what impact that had on you.
Because you're cutting out everything. Like, I just think back to it, and I'm just like, if I was hungry, I had like 3 slices of ham. Like, that was my snack. Like, why was I doing that? Or I'd just have like a Muller Light yogurt. Like, and I was still hungry. Like, I was not full. I was never like satisfied, no matter how much, free pasta I was having. The rest of the day I was hungry because I wasn't eating enough. But then on the flip side, they also don't encourage you to actually do exercise. It's almost like frowned upon. So like, if you've gone and you've been to the gym 3 times a week, and then you come to your weigh-in on the Thursday morning and you've maintained your results, they'll probably blame the fact that you've been to the gym and you're gaining muscle. But no, it's just because you ate later on one day, or because you have eaten too much pasta throughout the week and it's not actually tracked.
Yeah.
And you don't actually know how much of anything you're having. There's no concept of like portion sizes or anything.
It creates this like fear, doesn't it, for people around. Like, I always remember one thing, and we laugh and joke about it, but the sad reality, it does like scare people, is you can have a banana but you can't mash the banana. It's like, what the bloody hell does mashing a banana do?
Literally.
Like, it's not going to make a massive difference. And this is what frustrates us, isn't it? It's like, I think it's great that slimming clubs or whatever are massive things, and they get communities of people together and they're encouraging a better lifestyle. That's amazing. But the lack of education and support that comes with it, and the structure or the instructions they give people are so backwards half the time. Like, you can eat as much pasta as you want, but you can't have a mashed banana. Like, you have me on?
Yeah.
What, does the mashed banana have like 2,000 calories and the pasta has none? No.
Literally. It is bonkers. And I like, when you're in it, and because you are getting results, you're like, yes, like, this is it. Like, this must be the solution. And I definitely was in that like sort of like belief that was it. And I had a friend from uni who he's a PT as well, and he'd be like, no, you don't need to do it. And I was like, no, I have to. Like, it's working. But I imagine like he must have been so frustrated watching me do it like every single year. Now very supportive in what I do. But yeah, it is wild, Slimming World.
What impact did it have on you when you would lose the weight, go back to uni, put all the weight back on? Like, what? Because surely that messed with your head massively.
It's just frustrating. Like, I know it was my doing, but it was just like annoying. I was like, oh, here we go again. Like, it's summer. I know what I need to do. And then like, there was one summer where I was doing Slimming World, and I was training quite a lot on the side as well. And like, the weight wasn't really shifting. I was like, why isn't it working this time? Like, I don't get it. And I was probably thinking, oh, it's those damn workouts I'm doing. But yeah, it got to the point I was like, I don't know if I can do it. But I went back again, because then we went into lockdown. And again, I was like probably one of the biggest at that point. And I was like, oh, right, well, we're in lockdown. I've got nothing else to do. May as well, get on Joe Wicks and do some home workouts, or Courtney Black and do Slimming World again. And I did. And again, I lost 2 stone, and I was back to like probably it was the weight I am now, but like I had like no muscle, no definition, because I just lost weight, not like body fat, which I was, you know, content with at the time. And I just, oh yeah, I maintained it for probably a year or so, which I hadn't managed to do before. But again, like we were in lockdown, like what was I going to be doing?
Yeah.
And then where did we go from there? Then I moved out. I moved to North Devon. I got a new job. I was working as a spinal therapist up in North Devon. So
Not many people know that about you.
no. So yeah, that was a chapter of my life. So yeah, I was working in like a chiropractic industry, doing adjustments for people, treating a lot of people, massage, acupuncture, all sorts. So caring for lots of people.
She's a woman of many traits, everyone.
Who knew? But yeah, I did enjoy that. It was a good time, but I just kind of like hit a bit of a, bit of a stop, and I was like, I don't really know where else I'm going to go with this. But yeah, and then eventually I just felt stuck with probably work and probably just in my body. I wasn't happy. I got my birthdays, as you know, just after Christmas.
Remember that one? Definitely did not forget that.
So I've never, well, I have now, but I had never really had a birthday where I felt comfortable, because I've always been like, post-Christmas weight, like you're not going to change a lot, like in 4 weeks from New Year to my birthday. And I saw pictures after my birthday. I was like, oh God, I'm never posting them anywhere. They're horrible. And I was like, right, reach Solway, hit me up.
So we actually knew each other, didn't we?
Yeah.
So it's that, what's it called? Do you see it on TikTok? The string theory, where you meet people, but you don't realise you've met them or whatever it is, and it leads you on to better things.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's said, but we played netball together, didn't we? When we were,
ago.
I don't know, early teens maybe?
Yeah.
13, 14, around that time.
Yeah.
At a netball club. So that was the first time our paths crossed. And then when you were home from uni, you were at the gym group. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah.
And that was when I worked at the gym group. So our paths crossed then. And then me and Nat did a charity cycle ride for like 5 days straight in the gym. The most disgusting, painful time of my life. But Heather came to the rescue, and she just came up to us on the bike, didn't you? And you were like, do you want a massage? I was like, yes, please. Yes, save me. So I think you gave Nat like a hand massage or something.
I was like, all right, whatever you want.
We were on bikes as well.
Yeah.
I don't know what she was doing with her hands. And then, you gave us a massage. And then I booked in with a massage with you a couple of times after that.
Yeah.
And then about 9 months later, it must have been, that's when you reached out. What were you feeling at the point when you reached out? Because there'll be people right now listening to this that are teetering on the edge of reaching out. Like, how did you feel then?
So uncomfortable. Like, with how I looked, and also, like, just in general, like, my stomach just felt, like, every single day. And I was just like, why do I feel gross? Like, I literally felt gross. I wasn't happy with how I looked, how I felt, just all of it. I was like, there must be something else. But there's also that thought in the back of my head, like, surely I know how to do this. Like, I've studied sport. I understand the body, like, all of these things. Why can I not just do it? But something needed to change. So, and I wasn't going to be the one to, well, I did change it, but I needed help to do the change. So, yeah.
Do you know what? One thing I remember about that conversation that we had, so we went on a Zoom call, and I literally can picture you, because you were sat on your bed.
Yeah.
It's so weird, isn't it, how I just remember these things. And I remember one of the things I said to you was, how important is this to you right now on a scale of 1 to 10? And you went 10, and not many people say 10. No, I know, not many people do say 10, but when you said 10, you literally went, I am fed up of feeling this way. And I've never forgot that, because what you did off the back of that proved that, which is, and you prove that in everything that you do. Like, I've obviously got to know you so well after the past nearly 3 years now. You go all in with everything that you do. Like, you don't do things half-heartedly. It wasn't a case of you well, I guess the Slimming World thing proves that, doesn't
Yeah.
it? You went all in with doing that. You were so good at your previous job when you were when you worked at the spinal clinic. Careful what I say. You went like all in with that.
Yeah.
So when we had that conversation, I just knew at that point that you were gonna change how you looked, and you did that. So when you joined, February 2022, what happened then on your own physical journey? What did you achieve? How did you end up feeling? What things did you do?
I think initially when I first signed up, when I moved to North Devon, I lived with my friend's parents because they were very kind and let me have their spare room while I was figuring stuff out when I started my new job. And they cooked my meals for me. And Sarah is a cook. She's a chef, and boy, does she cook well. So I think that was probably like an anxiety of mine. I was like, I don't have control over that meal, but we managed to like still manage the other meals in the day for like the first couple of months. And then I moved into my own space and I was like, I can control everything, yay. But I still like was able to, then I committed to probably 3 training sessions a week. It was just 3 gym sessions because I worked quite long hours, and then it was food and steps. I remember like I was on 6,500 steps when I first started with you. I now do 16,000 steps every
Mad,
day.
isn't it?
Yeah, I literally get to like 6,000. I'm like, oh, I've got so many to do.
But that just proves as well how you don't always need to do what you think you need to do at the start, and how you build it up and your life changes.
Definitely. So yeah, and had no like specific events or anything, I don't think, in mind when I signed up. And then somehow the talk of photo shoots came out. I think it was the first. Was it the first one?
Yeah, you did do.
So I signed up for that one. That was in the September, and I think by then I dropped 10 kgs.
Just the casual 10.
Just the 10.
Just
you
the
know,
10.
no biggie. And obviously, like, felt very good doing that. And then signed up to another photo shoot off the back of it. And then we prepped for that one. And then, because that was in the March.
No, that was December.
Oh,
do you
God,
remember?
yeah,
Because it was freezing.
Oh my God.
And I think that was actually, we look at that now, that was a bit of a mistake, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Doing a December photo shoot, because you know, it didn't
wasn't
affect
long.
Christmas, but it was around the Christmas period and it was really cold and stuff, so lesson learned. We don't do them then.
It was freezing. And then I think you put in the group chat about like, oh, anyone fancy doing like the Exeter half marathon at the Quay? And I was like, I couldn't do that weekend for some reason. And I had not run at any point. I had not run. And then for some bizarre reason, I remember I went to the gym to do my training. And for my warm up, I was like, I'll just run for like 5-10 minutes just to see how it feels. I literally ran like probably like a kilometre. I was like, do you know what? I'm going to do a half marathon.
I am a running queen.
I'm a runner now. So yeah, then I was like, I'm going to do a half, and we signed up for the Bideford half. Had a time in mind, was going to push for the 2 hours. I didn't quite do it, and that day was hell. It was freezing. You kindly watched on the sidelines with
freezing.
Charlotte.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. It was like 3 degrees.
So cold.
It was so cold. And then just carried on with training, and I was like, I didn't think I was going to do another run after that one because I didn't like it. And I stopped running full stop for a couple months, and then I was like, actually, maybe I will. I was actually when we were in Portugal, wasn't it? I literally sat there and signed up for the Cardiff half. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we went to Portugal. Should we talk about that?
Yeah. So before we get to that, there was a point where, so it wasn't long after the Bideford half, and you were obviously living in North Devon at this point, and I think you were coming home for the weekend to see your family, and you text me just saying, do you fancy training in the gym? It must have been around like March, April time. And I was like, yeah. So we trained and we were just chatting about life, weren't we? And I was like, so what's your goal then? Like, what's your plan? Like, career? And you were like, I don't know. And I went, have you ever thought about coaching? I don't know what it was. I just had this like weird vibe, a positive vibe, obviously. But it was, I just knew that, I think what I knew from what I knew about you at that point is that you were capable of so much more and that you clearly have something inside of you that wants more for yourself, but you were maybe not in that environment to enable you to achieve that. We just chatted about it, and it just came into conversation about you working for me, didn't it? I had no intention. I was not at that point, was not in a position to have someone working for me, but I hadn't even thought about it. Like, that thought had never crossed my mind. And and then I think we went away, didn't we, from the session? And then one of us messaged the other one, and it just kind of carried on in conversation. And then we went to the next photo shoot, and you came along to help, didn't you?
Yeah.
Because I had booked to go to like a mindset retreat in Portugal in the May with Ben, who was the guy doing the photo shoot for us in the April, and you just came up and you got chatting to Ben, and then you decided you were coming, didn't you?
Yeah.
And so it went from there, right?
Pretty much. Yeah.
So we went to Portugal.
We did.
Had the best time.
It was lovely.
It was so fun. so fun. Heather's great at making scrambled eggs. So that's how I learned how to do scrambled eggs properly and not burn them. Do you remember? I came in, I was like, wow, how did you do them? You just looked at me like,
what do you mean?
Yeah, they're just eggs. But anyway, if anyone wants to learn, then
I'm the master.
Yeah, ask Heather Hunt. And then we were just at the retreat. There was a few like mindset talks and stuff, and it was really good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we were surrounded by loads of other coaches, and at that point it was like, that's how it happened.
Yeah,
that's literally how it happened, isn't it? And within about 2 weeks of us coming home, you started.
It was a done deal.
It was a done deal. We didn't know at this point what we were doing.
My soul.
Yeah, we actually didn't. We just that was the mad thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you think back from where we are right now, going back 18 months, that's how long. It's not been that long, and how different everything was. So tell everyone like what was it like? In fact, no, because someone's asked that question. We'll chat about that in a minute. But when you joined as the success coach, where were you at in your life at that point? Like, what else were you still doing? Where were you at in terms of how you felt in yourself?
I was still working at the clinic, so I was doing 40 hours a week there, and I was doing like 8 to 10 hours of level up on the side of that, that's a lot. Like, I don't think I realised.
And you were travelling?
Yeah, and I then was going to go travelling. I was still training in the gym. I was training for a half marathon. Like, I don't know what sort of hours I had in my day, but there was more than 24. So, yeah, I felt good in myself. And I think, because I then was doing all that. I, for some unknown reason, decided that it was a really great idea to not only do the Cardiff half in the beginning of October, but to then do my own photo shoot like 3 weeks later. I was like, I really want to push, you know?
But by the way, you look bloody insane for that.
I think in my head, I knew I was going travelling. I was like, I want to be in like the best condition going away, knowing I feel like as good as possible, which I did. And I think the only like concern I had before going away, and I said this to you, I was like, I'm really, really worried I'm going to like lose my results because I've never been able to like maintain them. And I knew I was going to like different countries. I wasn't necessarily going to be able to track food. I didn't necessarily want to track food. And I was like, I don't know if I can do it, but I did it.
Exactly.
We coped. I literally came home. I think I gained like maybe 2 kilograms, if that. And it was, I was very, very impressed that I'd managed to have an amazing 4 months, be in the moment for all 4 of those months, and then actually, come out the other side and not have lost everything.
So whilst we're on this note, someone's asked a question. I feel like this is the right time to ask this.
Okay.
And you can be honest. You have full permission, as long as you don't call me a bitch. So someone has asked, how is it working for Rach, personality and a friend and coach previously? So the different transitions.
I think we were slightly worried about it initially, like how are we going to like separate those things? And especially like when you were still coaching me, I was like, right, anything coaching wise, we will just talk on Telegram. Anything like business and friendship wise, we'll do on WhatsApp. Like, and we did draw the line there, which worked. But yeah, it's fine working for you. We just know where the lines are. I think we're very, very clear on where that is. We've never really had to discuss it too much. We just both understand how that happens. But yeah, you're a very reasonable boss.
So weird when you say that, because I don't actually feel like honestly, everyone would be so surprised the amount of times I go to Heather for stuff. I'm like, Heather, is this right, or should I do this, or what do you think of this?
Yeah, so it just, I don't know, it just works, doesn't it? We've just got a rhythm, and obviously you were very, very nice to let me go travelling and do the hours that I was doing and be very flexible with that. And you are still flexible with what I do and when I do it and stuff. So
it's fair to say though, it's not been easy, has it? There's definitely been.
There's been moments.
There's been moments. There has been moments, but like I think that it's important that people know that, because. So I literally said this to you the other day. Level Up would not be Level Up without Heather, and I mentioned it on our call on Monday night to our clients. We were talking about, you know, do more than what's expected of you, and I can hand on heart say, I know I work hard, but you work bloody hard as well, and you go above and beyond with everything. Like half the stuff everyone will see you do, I don't even ask you to do that, and that's so rare to find, because the bottom line is, if we look at this on paper, I built this business, I get you to work X amount of hours for me per week. You don't have to do some of the stuff that you're doing, but the fact that you do it is a testament to who you are. Like going back to what I said near the start of this, is you always go all in. Anything you do, you just throw yourself in. You don't think about yourself, you think about how can I actually help other people, and that's like a massive, massive credit. And yeah, I stand by it. Like there's no way, shape or form Level Up would be what it is without you. So thank you, basically. And I know that everyone else is really grateful as well. But yeah, going back to it, like it hasn't always been easy, but that's part of it, isn't it? Yeah. It's like
nothing's ever going to be all sunshine and rainbows.
And you were the first person that I've had work for me as well, so I had to learn a lot. And poor Heather, like me chucking her in at the deep end at the start, there were times where I'd get annoyed, and then I'd be like, how dare I get annoyed at you? I've not even told you how to do it. Like you've helped me to learn a lot as well, which is the best part about it. And we do have a really good friendship, don't we? But like we are so close, so close. More than, and we have to draw the line. Like when people see us be professional, we're professional, but behind we're not. We're just really great friends, and it just works, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
And here we are. So going back to the question I asked you at the start then, what does Level Up mean to you? I also asked you a similar question about this the other day, about, I literally went, didn't I? I said, open up a notepad and write Level Up, and then I want you to write me everything about Level Up. You were like, okay.
Yeah, it's still blank.
But is it?
Yeah.
Great.
I was just staring at it yesterday like, I don't know.
Where do you see Level Up in a few years?
Ooh. I try and like imagine it like bigger, but I'm just like, well, hopefully it will keep getting bigger.
Yeah.
But just like, I don't know what other avenues it's gonna like go down, because like the thing that's recently launched, like that came out of like, well, thin air almost, like, and it's happened really, really quickly. So things can change so rapidly, and that's okay. Like, but trying to think like 5 years time, I haven't got a bloody clue.
I literally said the same on the last episode. I was like, I don't know. Like
No.
but I think that's the beauty of it, and that's also shows how well we work together, because we adapt so quickly.
Yeah.
And I'm like the nutty one out of the two of us. You keep me grounded, I think. That's the right way. You just keep me calm and controlled, and you're like my voice of reason to be like, yes, Rach. No, Rach. Don't do that, Rach.
Good idea. Maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not. The amount of times that you're like, I wouldn't do that if I was you. But it is hard to imagine, isn't it? And it's fair to say neither of us thought we'd be in this position right now.
No, definitely not.
No way, shape or form. And long may that continue. So with that, we have some more questions from people. So let's start with this one. So a few people have asked this, right? You may have seen on Heather's Instagram that she posted a few weeks back that she's booked said something and hasn't told everyone.
No.
Have you told anyone?
I've told a few people on our Level Up night out.
Oh yeah.
I let it slip.
Was
Well,
that
I just
the
told them.
Prosecco or?
A couple of drinks.
Yeah. You've booked something.
Yeah.
People are asking, you don't have to say what it is, but here's the questions we're getting for it. When is your triathlon? We've got, what is this event you have booked? Please tell us. What is the secret thing she signed up for? And are you climbing Everest?
Everest. I'll tell everyone what it is because I've already told some people. But I signed up to do the Edinburgh Marathon in May, which I know you're disappointed in because we're not going somewhere hot.
I mean, oh yeah, I'm disappointed by the way. So for my marathon, I take her to Barcelona. She wants me to come to Edinburgh.
It's lovely. I've heard great things.
Can't wait.
So yeah, I have booked that. To me, I feel like that is huge.
That is your Everest.
Yeah, yeah, for now. You never know.
We are not doing a level up.
Yeah. Next level up retreat, base camp.
Jill would be so annoyed.
So yeah, for me, like, it's huge. But then loads of people kept replying to my story and saying in the group chat, like, are you doing an Ironman? Are you doing a triathlon? Like, all of these enormous things. Not a single person guessed a marathon. And I started questioning myself. I was like, oh God, is that not good enough? Like, am I not pushing hard enough? Am I not going for something more? Like, I would like to do a triathlon at some point in my life. Not next year. But yeah, I'm still like, a marathon is huge, guys. Come on. I know
don't you think that's a testament, though? Again, don't you think that's a testament to you? Because that's, again, going back to what I said about you go all in and you throw yourself and you set yourself these challenges. So that's, to me, that's, I'm sure it's a lot of our clients that have asked you those questions. That's our girls going, we think you're bloody amazing and we know you like to push yourself and we know you're capable of stuff. And like, a marathon is bloody hard.
Yeah.
Like, ridiculous and fair play. But also, the other thing people forget is you're not just doing a marathon. You've got to train for a marathon alongside working jobs, like alongside having a relationship, alongside living a life. It's not just 4 hours on the day or whatever time you run it in. It is everything. And you said earlier, didn't you, like your marathon is the lead up to it. It's not the event.
Like, that's probably the one thing that's ever put me off signing up to it before is the training.
Is that because you saw me like on the treadmill dying away?
I knew, like, even recently, like when I was training for my half, I was knackered. Like, I was tired because I was putting in like up to like 50 kilometers a week, and like it's going to be double that coming up. Like, a half marathon is going to be like a shorter training run for me in the like grand scheme.
You'll look forward to a half marathon.
I will. So tragic. But like having the energy to, as you said, like do all of those other things. And also then I think you have to be very aware that your goals are going to have to change and your priorities are going to have to change during that time as well. So I know that during that time I probably will like gain a couple of kilos, and that's going to be okay because the priority is going to be fueling for my runs rather than looking lean. I don't want to be losing weight at that point because you want to have as much energy and fuel inside you as possible. And that probably does like worries other people, especially like it's going to be May, we're going to be coming up to summer, things like that. But it's fine. Like, that's not the goal at that point. Like, I have different priorities. I want to do this marathon. It'll be my first one, maybe my only, who knows.
But with those 2 kilograms or whatever it is, it's not like, if you look at your physique now compared to where you were when you did your half marathon, like you literally look like an athlete. Like Rory said it earlier before you got here, like you look so athletic. And on Saturday when you ran past me, when I thought you were saying at the run club where you're like, I'm going to get a pace on, I was like, all right then, see you all later. But you went, I'm going to get photos. I was looking at your back and I thought, oh my bloody God, like where's that come from? So your physique and your composition has changed so much. So for you, a couple of kilograms isn't going to be...
It's not the end of the
world. But it's not even going to be body fat that you're putting on. It's just extra food in your body, so you stand on the scales and you weigh a bit more.
Yeah, for sure. But again, it's just like a mindset shift, isn't it? And just being like, no, this is fine, and this is what we're doing at the moment, and yeah, just having those different goals. But
Yeah.
exciting and scary, very scary. But I'm glad it's in May, so then my long runs aren't in like the depths of winter. Hopefully we'll be coming out the end of it by then.
Yeah, just the short half marathons in the depths of winter. Yeah,
fine.
Right, next question then. So one of our new clients actually has asked, what is the best advice you would give to me as someone who is about to start my new journey?
Ooh, go all in. Just give everything to the process, to us, like just go all in. And it's funny, like just before we started filming this, Jill was doing her Facebook Live and just saying like, even if you have been a client for like a year or more, however long it's been, like still use your coaches. Like that's what we're here for. And, you know, we're there for you to fall back on and guide you throughout the journey, no matter where you are on it, and to just utilise the service, because why not? Like there's always more you can learn. And like, well, we know that because we've both got coaches as well. Like we still need to be kept accountable, pushed, like taught more. Like there's never you're never the expert. Some people might think you're the expert, but you're not. Like you're always the student. So
yeah, and that, like you said there, we've both got separate coaches as well. Just because we're coaches, we don't know it all.
No,
we don't. We help hundreds of women, and we learn so much from helping hundreds of women, but we learn so much from our coaches as well. And we'd be so naive and stupid to think that we don't need a coach ourselves. Like, it's like, why does Cristiano Ronaldo, it's the first person I thought of. Obviously, because I talk about him all the time. Why does Cristiano Ronaldo have a coach? Like, why does Usain Bolt, when he was a sprinter, have a coach? Like, all of these people have coaches because they need to improve. Do not be that person that gets arrogant and ignorant to the fact that you need to learn. You don't need to learn more, because you always need to learn more. It's simple as that. So, testament to have a hunt, go all in. Next question. So, give us another one of Heather's healthy hints.
Oh, not another one.
So for anyone that doesn't know, that's not a client, on a Monday night on our call, we have a new feature. I still need to add some music to it, don't I? Heather's healthy hints. So Heather shares a healthy hint for the week, but it's not like eat your protein or, you know, she does go above and beyond. She goes all in to work these out. So on the spot, what would be your healthy hint for this week?
Oh, another one.
I'll tell you after who asked it, and then you can blame her.
Yeah, I'm coming for you. Oh God, I've used them all now. I really struggle on a Monday now because I have used them all.
Something mindset focused.
Ooh.
What do you do for? What's your biggest tip for someone that's maybe new to mindset, quote unquote, and they want to work on themselves? What would be the first thing you'd get them to do? It's a big one.
It is a big one. Cool. I prefer the healthy hints.
I'm trying to give you a healthy hint.
I guess utilising like your resources around you. Like there's so much available, like even if it's just having your notes open on your phone all the time, just typing away, like thinking of what you maybe want to work on, anything that's holding you back. Even just like, well, for me, like the times that I usually have moments of like aha moments are on a walk. So just like having your phone in your back pocket and then just being like, oh my God, yeah, I must write that down, and just like having that with you. And then, you know, you'll probably forget about it by the time you got home, but you might be scrolling through your notes one day and like find it and be like, oh yeah, I remember that. And it'll just like reiterate that point that you've been thinking about. So yeah.
That's a good healthy hint.
Isn't it?
I didn't know you do that, because I do that. How weird.
Twins.
We are. We're just so in sync. We just level up. Next question. What did you enjoy the most about Level Up when you were a client?
Ooh. Just probably the events. No.
Not me? No? Okay.
Sometimes, I guess. The events were fun. Like, doing the photo shoots was always a highlight. I think I've been to all of them. I haven't done all of them, but I've been to all of them.
Heather's got a calendar. Evolution of Heather Hunt over the years.
Imagine. Probably could. But yeah, like, we do it, like, our community is such a massive part of it, and it's so crazy to look like back and see how much it has also changed since I first joined, because there's not many people still on Level Up that were on it when I first joined up. So yeah, the community, the events, all that jazz.
It's important to us as well, isn't it? Like, personally, not just from a business perspective, but I think that's the thing a lot of our clients don't realise is how much we get from all these events, and even just like the walks we do down the quay and just simple stuff. And like Run Club, I had such a big moment the week before last. I think it was actually when you weren't there, not because you weren't there that I had this moment, but you just weren't there at that point. And it was just such a nice run. We just sat having a coffee and a cake after, and I just sat there and I was like, I could have cried because I had this like overwhelming feeling of gratitude. Like, how is this my life? But not in a sense of I've brought all these people together. It was like, this is so nice that women that did not know each other, like me included, you included, we did not know them, can just get together once a week and just sit down for a coffee and a cake after going for a run.
Yeah.
It's the little things in life, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it's so nice. So if you're listening, you don't come to Run Club, then you're missing out on the cinnamon buns, really. What do you enjoy the most about being a success coach? Well, head of client success.
Yeah. Seeing the changes, it's like there are loads of changes that happen. Sometimes just like little small ones, but then when you see them like snowball into these huge like breakthrough moments for some people, and it's just like, yes, this is it. Like, and it's not necessarily like seeing like somebody losing like 10 kilograms on the scales or looking at their progress pictures, like that is great. But when you just see, and you've had a call with them maybe early on in their journey, and then you have one later on down the line, or you meet them in person and they are just a different person. And we're probably thinking of very similar people. There's a few people who have had those moments and you're just like, we did that. Like, we helped you to get to that point. And if you hadn't been through all of that, then you would have still been where you were. And it's just so refreshing to see like people change for the better, like, and really push themselves and just actually see what they're capable of as well, which is nice.
And this is why we scream about the fact that we're not just here to give you a training plan and tell you how many calories to have. Like, that's boring. We'd be so bored if that was our job. Like, we're here to actually make you or help you to become the woman that you want to be. And that's not just do this in the gym and eat this. It's how do we control this thing here, the most important thing, which we're still learning to do as well. Like, and that's the other mad thing, right? We're young. We are very young. Like, I'm 27, you're 26. You're the baby. Heather's the little baby. But we are young and we're doing this. And I think that's another, like, I never sit here and go, oh my God, we're actually doing this. And I know you don't either, which is just crazy. Because a lot of the time, I think a lot of the time people go to people for advice who are older than them.
Yeah.
A lot of our clients are older than us. So we must be doing something all right.
Yeah. I just so.
They just like the banter. Don't know what it is. So final question then. For someone that is maybe where you were, maybe they're at uni right now, or maybe they've finished uni or wherever they're at in their life and they are in the cycle of doing a diet, losing weight, regaining weight, what is your biggest bit of advice to those people? What would you tell them to do right now based on the fact that you know how they felt in that moment?
Change something. Doesn't have to be anything huge. Just change something, because if nothing changes, and you will continue to be in that cycle and feeling very stuck. So if you need to reach out to somebody for some help whether that's a coach or something else, then do it. Or if you actually think that you can do it on your own and just change something, whether it's creating a new habit or, you know, something along those lines, just do it. And because it will snowball, and it will come to turning into something bigger than what you initially thought it was as well.
That's the important thing, isn't it? It's just starting that effect. Like, do the first thing, because the second thing will come. When you do the second thing, the third thing will happen.
Yeah.
And going back to like your marathon, focus on the process, not the end goal. If you focus on the process, you'll get to the end goal no matter what.
Very true.